Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have Trundle, because once more, Trundle is a problem, but mostly because Trundle is also a meta fister. By that I mean he's a great pick into a lot of things that you might feel annoyed at. I mean, how does this still work? It's 2022, season 12, people are still chilling, itemizing in their shop, basically pretending what jewelry they're gonna buy for the rest of the game, and they get hooked. So, Blitz loses his flash, but he has Hex Flash. Pyke just escapes because he's Pyke. We have a complete Fiesta mid lane, so absolutely typical, but no one gets some good lead, so that's good. However, in the last game we looked at a comeback using Diana, why she is so strong in the meta, why she dictates the meta. Trundle, with his Q specifically, in terms of, your Xin Chaos and so on, will remove AD with that Q, and if there's things like Scion, you will simply yeet his tanky stats. Now, we are basically having a bot lane who doesn't want to leash for us, even though our name is Fluorescent Love. And I think with such a beautiful name, people should want to leash for you, right? But they're not going to. Most likely, based upon the timeline, we can actually watch this. They're going to die anyway. So we're going to go leashless, which I think is absolutely fine. Good ward here lets us know that he gets leashed, but we can see that anyway. Pyke face checks a bush. Pyke gets hooked. Pyke flashes out. Pyke gets ignited. Pyke shall survive. Luciano goes in onto the 2v1. Okay, so you know what? We'll take the flash. That's fine. For an ignite, that's fine. Although Blitzcrank did lose his hook initially. In the meantime, Trundle is doing his blue into Grump into the Wolves. That should be absolutely fine. And while you're doing that, please look at your map like I'm doing. Oh, you see? you see? Because, you don't really have to focus too much while you're clearing as Trundle, as Warwick, and so on. So paying attention to this is very important because you can notice what sums are burned. And even if you miss certain things happening, you catch these kinds of things, you can see the flash and heals are used if they are, and so on. Anyway, so as expected, no leash dies 2v2 regardless. Might as well just leash us. Lee Sin, on the other hand, started blue, does his Grump, most likely going to go down. We don't know exactly what he's going to do, but we are Trundle. We are only concerned with things we can control. A little bit of a avoiding of the minions there because they kind of run into us. And if it's a really tough gank for champions like Trundle, we did three camps blue side into level 3, and we can immediately go looking for a gank if you think it is juiced and primed. Please do not, however, I wish I could see the pillar. For some reason, it just doesn't always show. I have no idea. So imagine the pillar where the person gets stunned. A little bit of a visual exercise. I do like this, but I prefer it if you can do blue side, cut down here, then gank the gankable lane, because then you can always fall back here and you've got a bit of protection. Even though the enemy jungler can, in theory, counter gank you, should they be doing something similar, it just allows you to continue versus kind of looping around you, because this is a bit of spaghetti now. You've gone down, you walk back up. It is good to burn that flash though, and we'll take that. Lee Sin shows up here, 12 CS, 2 buffs, which means buff, Grump. We basically can predict that one. We know Trundle's on the top side. If you are Lee Sin, Zoe will fall. Lee Sin now can go down to the bottom crab, or can use the fact that he has a Nivea and try and get this top crab. Let's observe. Here we go. Here he comes. Hello. Auto attack chunked. We will have W up again. Frozen Domain. We activate it. We do have Pillar also. We can use that. Forces the flash. I mean, meta Fista, and that's exactly what I mean. If you are full clearing, doing Krugs and Raptors, please rethink your life. Don't do that. You are a troll. Make sure you're actually trolling people by getting in their faces. This is very, very good. So we force that flash. Lee Sin's going to go bottom side to this. If they were low, I'd worry about it. But because we know he's gone and we can see top lane, let's affect top lane as well. We affected mid lane. She died, but doesn't matter. It was a good gank. Let's now go to the top lane. Use good ganking angle of approach. Very, very nice. Cut him off. You will have to force his flash, but of course he doesn't have the flash, which is why we're F-keying all over the place. And we give the kill to Yasubi. Great. A little bit of a pillar to slow, a little bit of a Q to slow as well, and the zombie gets nothing. This is definitely not Kingdom, I can tell you that much. When is the next season coming out? They should hurry up with that. Anyway, in the meantime, we are basically chilling in this bush. We're waiting for the Anivia to show up again, because we kind of want to try repeat gank. Always very, very good, but now the angle of approach is significantly more difficult for us to execute, and we get walled. Pillar is activated. We are forcing to walk. This doesn't look good. As soon as you get walled, accept defeat. You got outplayed by the outplay button. So that's not good, but that will be his only death in the game. And you know what? When you're playing champions like this, you need to be aggressive with your ganks. You need to be very actively looking to repeat gank and abuse lanes. Right, where can we impact the map next? Next. We do have camps, but we don't really want to start with that if there's something we can do, yeah? Same thing with Warwick. At this point, hopefully we have our team. We have Sheen, obviously, with Trundle. The the fact that we burnt the passive, well, Zoe burnt the passive, but the fact that we've burnt the gank here and Sums is very, very good. So this is ungankable, so he's just going to go farming. There is a fight now, so we want to react. Let's see, we finished Grunt, we definitely want to react to this. Very, very good. Excellent. You see, as soon as you see that action, react. We still have our flash. We can Frozen Domain to catch up. We immediately chomp him. We keep chomping. We keep chomping. Pyke should fall here as well. Lee Sin, you have no flash. The Smite to get some more HP back. Remember, your passive gives you HP back as well. Lee Sin safeguards over the wall. We're just going to flash chase him. We will have Q and chompies. 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 So, if there's no gank, do your camps, no problem, but keep your eyes open. If there's something, rotate and clean up. Always the most important gank you can have in low elo, and it works for every other elo as well, is reactive pathing. Get a free dragon? Yeah, we're only level 4, but so is Lee Sin, and we're 3-1-1, so does anyone really care? The little things people worry about, I don't like it. You know, you worry about the level 5 spike more than just reacting and getting triple kill. You worry about the camp experience rather than killing 3 people and getting a dragon. I mean, your wolf camp, if you were focused on this instead of just rotating, if you thought this was doomed and you just didn't walk over, I mean, how is wolf camp worth this possibility? You know, it really isn't. So, you could flex on down to this, but you know that Lee Sin most likely is going to be going top side because his blue will be up. He was just bottom side, and you know he's not going to be contesting that crab. So we can try and shadow this to a certain degree, which Trundle is doing. Yasuo will do the business, and because we know this blue buff is spawning and we see this, we can now invade it. So this is a very good path, an aggressive path by a jungler that knows he's now ahead. And again, hit the plant. Grump will fall. We don't really... I mean, you could have walked up and smited it, which would have been pretty good, actually, just to deny the Lee Sin that level up and to deny him that heal. So I think here... Sorry to rewind again. I know you guys don't always like that, but I think if you can maybe W just to walk in and smite it, clearly he's not going to anticipate this whatsoever, right? So that denies him the heal, the level up, and maybe you can do more things about this, obviously, but you're not looking for a straight up Giga fight anyway, because mid lane is rotating, your top lane is dead. You're not really looking to steal the blue. I mean, there's no ways you can at this stage, obviously. Just a little bit of a sidestep. But if you can steal the Grump and keep him level 4, for this fight, Lee Sin will be level 4, you know? And that's absolutely huge if you're going to go for a 2v2 and a 3v3. So just a little shift in thinking process there. Here we go. Yeah. Things are happening. I see. You see. He eased through the wall. Science are way overcommitted. He hasn't seen the Zoe. This Lion did not see the Zoe, and he just went too far. So tank players, when you do that, it's your fault, 100%, yeah? 100% your fault. Okay, Lee Sin did the blue anyway, so he would have actually been 5 regardless in that scenario, but just keep it in mind. You could basically go ahead and take these, but again, I feel like if we're very, very close to a Trinity Force, we could. Arguably, he could actually do that just to finish the Triforce. Would I want to do that in this particular situation? Probably. Because red's going to be spawning, you can take red, there's no dragon, you can reset, and then you can go to the bottom side, because now Lee Sin basically has tempo advantage over taking the Herald, which is the objective I value more, specifically considering the dragon's already down, and you can create more prior to get the second dragon. So here I might look to hang around a bit, secure the red buff, maybe greed for a Herald, although I don't think I would, but just provide disruption. And you know what, even if you can't contest a Herald, and you decide you don't want it, getting the goal for the Triforce and not coming down to the bottom lane, having the Triforce would be huge. So once more, we're going to go to the mid lane. This time we're going to red smite. Although, I mean, I get it, but if she stuns you, you're dead. So that's a waste. I mean, that's not a waste. It's a good. It's a good flash. It's good. But I'm still concerned about a lot of you running into tower range versus an Anivia. You got to play really smart. He didn't play it smart initially, and right there he had to play significantly more reserved and not go too deep. Now, Lee Sin obviously hasn't taken the Herald at this point, but will repeat gank on the top side, hits the Q, goes back in, nice flash kick into the Scion Q, and that's a dead Hazaki. In the meantime, we're down here, you see, so pros and cons to all decisions. Pros and cons to all decisions. I prefer getting item spikes for next plays, especially seeing as if they completed items. Now here we technically, again, want to do Grump Wolves and relax, but if bot lane is fighting, if bot lane is low, let's go, let's react. Kaisa is once more dead, 1, 2, 3, but again, we rotate, we make a play. Lee Sin makes a play topside, we make a play on the bottom side. We're going to leave that juicy fresh, and we know that because Lee Sin was topside, we can perhaps go on a little bit of an invade here, given the fact that Lucian and Pyke were killed. So we're not too concerned about that. Zoe's top lane, Yasuo will be going mid lane. We can just go and snack this very quickly. We do have smite if we need it. That's fine though. If you're gonna go Tiamat, you can definitely farm these AoE camps faster, but because he's going for Trinity Force, and this roam here, people say, well, look, my support doesn't do this well. His support wouldn't do this either. You know, his support's only able to do this very nice as well, because Trundle made this prio. And you have to play like this as Trundle. You're really looking to play aggressively in the river control, run into junglers you know you can beat 1v1, create prio for your lanes, and snowball. You know, this is not something where you're kind of chilling to scale. Right, now of course we're going to go back to base and we're going to secure the Trinity Force. Dragon will be spawning, we've given this up, but we took this one. Herald is obviously gone at this point, and now we can head straight to the bottom lane once more. Let's have a look what's going on. Kai'Sa is able to turn one around. Well played, although Pyke's chasing and here comes Lee Sin, so I don't think she's gonna live for too long. Trundle is on his way. Nope. Trundle is on his way here. We do want to stop the Herald play. I don't think he probably will actually use it, so we just want to stop that. We just go chomping here. You should absolutely go chomping. There's nothing, I mean, look at the Sheen Bite. It's so insane. That's why I love it on Volibear as well. Trinity Force, underrated. So underrated on Trundle, on Volibear, on Hecarim, on anything that can actually build Viego, and obviously with PTA, you would have seen the runes, and I didn't really discuss them because just it's a great rune set, Trinity Force and PTA. That synergy together is absolutely huge. And now again, we're gonna go mega deep. Pillar will hit, Ignite will tick it down. Well played, Damn Slayer. Blitzcrank, nice hook, thank you very much. We're just gonna keep hitting and bonking on the Lucian, who does kill the Blitzcrank in return, but you know, we don't die. We're Trundle, we live, we thrive. Dragon is up and it's an ocean, so we enjoy, we shake our heads in acceptance. You know what? This is good. This is a good example of why Trundle is a Metaphista, because you really don't give a damn about anyone else, you know? They're in your swamp, and you're just gonna take care of business. And in terms of Lee Sins and Xin Chaos and Volibears, you just handle them. You absolutely handle them. There are obviously some negative matchups, no doubt. And the lack of ability to full clear in 5 camp is a bit of an issue on these champions, but as long as you're pathing correctly, and really, you see this? I mean, yeah, he dies, but he forces flashes. Yeah, he didn't die this time, but he forced a flash. And this results in a kill here. It results in a kill here. And that adds up. You know, and now Zoe is starting to Zoe's going to start to pop off here because of that pressure. Kai'Sa has survived and done okay because of the pressure. And we have 2 dragons because of that pressure. And Yasuo, because of that early gank, was able to get himself fed as well. Here we go, 1v1 solo kill. That's what you want from your laners. You want to set them up for success. Lee Sin shows top lane, Q's a minion, but now he's cut off. He's going to be taking a lot. I mean, that's a lot of damage eventually if you don't get into it. Trundle here is basically doing Raptors, decides I'm going to rotate to this, because at this point you know straight up, once Budget Noviticus kills Novicitus, I reversed the T and the C because it makes more sense in my brain. Anyway, you know he's going to activate the Herald, so just run top lane, snack this Herald, hit the eyeball. If you need smite, you have smite, doesn't really matter. We just don't. That is so tilting for Lee Sin, but again, why are you activating it there without pushing the wave first? You had the time, but good reactive pathing will always win you games. And now that Herald is nullified, while we have 2 dragons, so sucks for Lee Sin, I think. Sucks just a little bit. Just a little bit. Right, both level 9, 66 CS to 74, but 613 to 311. Lee Sin's ganks haven't really come with a certain map control you would expect, whereas Trundle's have. And, you know, I like that. I do. I do. Now, you can go full on tank afterwards. You can go other certain build paths. Okay, Blitzcrank, Hex Flash Trap setting, Zoe Bubble. Pyke goes in for some strange reason in the river with no sense of control anyway, and just absolutely gets rinsed. The Destiny hook. Now, Lucian is out of position. Good angle of approach from Blitzcrank. We can get the knock up. No, we can't. He dashes to escape. Yeah, that's a sleepy Lee Sin, so that's probably a... Oh, we get exhausted, but flash. Lucian gets hooked back in, and chomp, chomp, chomp. Here we go, with Trundle. W. Waiting for pillar? No, we don't have it, so we can just cut this. We'll take this gold, thank you very much. Lee Sin thinks he might be able to execute, it doesn't matter. Because again, every time... That's what you want. If you're a PTA jungler like this, like a Warg, like a Trundle, this is what you want. And yeah, it doesn't have the same carry potential as an Evelynn, as a Viego, as a Rengo when they pop off. But that's not what you're here for. You know, you're here to do your best to carry a game by getting yourself fed and basically helping your teammates become their best selves. As a jungler should be. That is our goal, after all. That's why I hate the Karthus sort of Hecarim style when you just literally AFK farm and let the laners fist amongst themselves. It's not fun for them. which I think is an important thing. I mean, people hate those jungles because it just isn't fun to play with. And when I play lane, I absolutely despise it because it's also incorrect. You know, I do not think that's good jungling whatsoever. And if you get rewarded for it, it's not okay. Junglers that can farm well, 7 CS a minute, while giving, you know, 60 plus 70% KP, that is much more difficult to execute. And obviously when you do that, you give your laners a chance to help you out a little bit. And in low elo, that's important because when you get these people fed, you know, they're just gonna stat check each other all game anyway. Might as well give them the best stats. Here we go. Flanking time. Let's go. Lee Sin's there. Hook matters. Kai'Sa just yeets in because all Kai'Sas do that. Doesn't really matter. It's an absolutely melted egg. That was hard boiled. Let me tell you. That was just absolutely peeled and good to go. Lee Sin now's forced to disengage, and now we can push the map, move into their jungle, we steal their camps, and because this tower's dead, move your chess pieces around. Obviously, this is a bounty we want to deny. Yasuo's still top lane here. Absolutely relax. We can goon squad this against a squishier team combat's better. Okay, I mean, yeah, the Pike and the Lee Sin. As long as Kai'Sa survives, here we go. Move to the top lane. Easy dive. Expected. Tank a tower shot. Doesn't really do anything. And with the passive, we get healed anyway. And we finish off that one. So take one out of tower. Move your pieces. Take another out of tower. Take their jungle. Kai'Sa. Dead. Poor Pike. Poor Pike. He just wanted the execute. Zoe is now flanking as a Prowler's Claw because, hey, good design. And we just basically in a straight up fight here. Trundle actually gets quite low here. He has to flash out, but obviously his passive there keeps him alive if people die. Nice Blitzcrank. This is a good Blitzcrank. And we just transition to the Herald. When you play like this as a jungler, and you get these dragons and you help your lanes like this, I mean, he was top lane, he was mid lane, he was bot lane. He infected the whole map. Affected, but he also infected the whole map from the enemy team's point of view. I mean, if he was traditional Trundle, then it's not. Then he just looks, you know, GQ magazine shirtless, you know, men's health kind of thing. Not quite big enough for bodybuilding. That we reserve that for your topless scions, but definitely Trundle looks very good in traditional. And this one, not so much. Anyway, don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go to the dragon. Make sure we can secure that because obviously we want to rise onto to Soul Point. There we go. And at this point, it's where people throw usually. So shadow your laners. Do not fall back to your camps, please. Do not fall back to your camps. I don't even know why I said those magazines. I always read Flex back, you know, when it wasn't crap and people read magazines. But I don't know. Anyway, don't really need to wait for the wave if you're super fed and you're a Trundle. We do have the, I'm gonna say Grasp of the Undying. I hope you can understand why I said that. Anathema's Chains. There you go. I mean, I can't remember the last time I built that item or saw someone build that item in my games, but we can obviously put it on someone that we're going to be focusing a lot. Just hit the tower. With Trinity Force Trundle, you just hit the tower. Now everyone's low. We're just chomping, we're chomping. All right, that's a kill. We'll get some HP. We're out of mana here. We peel for the Kai'Sa. Very, very important. You can siphon tankiness from the Scion as well. Don't overchase here. Too many times Trundles will overchase. Scion will kill the Kai'Sa, and then you'll be complaining. Take control of the team fight yourself. Yeah, I'm okay with that. We still have time on the Herald. And we can get the Deadmans, and then obviously you could go whatever MR you like. I would still think in these situations, while Force of Nature is the best MR item and Spirit Visage kind of sucks, if you do have a shielding support, an enchanter, I kind of like it still. You know, I kind of like it for a tanky person, even though the MR isn't great. If you have a lot of healing inside and of yourself and your team, as well as shielding, it provides a lot of utility. But still, Force of Nature is most likely the go-to. We still have more. It felt like we had more items for magic resistance tanks, which is weird because we didn't have a lot at all, did we? We didn't have a lot at all, so tank itemization definitely needs to be looked at. Right. Yasuo's on the bottom side here. We do have Unleashed Telesport, basically. Well, that's what we could have called esport for a period. It was definitely Telesport. It was not fun. Anyone remember those 0-0 games at 21 minutes? I don't know how we survived, honestly. Yeah, just turn to Baron here, get some deep vision if they show you turn. For some reason, Zoe's completely out of position. She's going to ult back. The Pike does negative damage here at this point. We do peel to turn. There you go. I mean, it took Yasuo time, and this Scion's ult are hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, this Blitzcrank, very, very good. Very, very good. Very, very good. Nice TP by the Yasuo as well to get that ultimate off. And we're just chasing down the Lucian for the finish. Perfect, that's all you're looking for. Straight into the Baron, please. There's no ways... Yeah. I was gonna say there's no ways they could remotely get back into this game, and I was just kind of thinking, and then I realized that it's a Lee Sin and a Lucian, so if you had an Aphelios and maybe a bit more of a scaling jungler, you could, but in this particular situation... Hey, you gotta have fun as well. All chatting maybe. Just having a little type. Nice little cheeky type to the enemy team. Right, mid inhibitor is down. And I know in theory, you should be okay in this game. Anivia is still a bit of an issue with wave clear, and she will scale monstrously. Sion will become very difficult if he decides to play the game with a head. So in this particular situation, don't throw too much. Too many times in low elo, I see a lot of throws here. Obviously in this game, we're not gonna have it. But what will happen is this, right? You will run into the enemy team like this, and your team is nowhere near you. Because your team is farming Krugs, doing the wrong thing. Even if they should be with you, if they're not, don't make the play, you know? Good dodge here using our W. We get yeeted into the air. Yasuo kills the Lee Sin out of position, and now we're just doing tanky things. We're running in. Kai'Sa, very nicely done. Again, Wall will strap us to the map a little bit, whatever that means again. But that's fine, we're tanky. You can Q, we have life still. Run through, that should do it. So, hopefully, you can see how a 4-camp jungler can work in this elo, but you have to play a certain way. Hopefully you can see how Trundle, just with a few little touches here, pushing the Lee Sin out of the top crab, pushing him out of the blue buff, forcing those fights, nice reactive path to burn his flash and kill him on the bottom side. With those 3 moves, he suppressed the enemy jungler. You know, and he didn't care if that was a Lee Sin. Obviously, Lee Sin's not the best state, but in high elo he is. He's still fine. He's still good. So, look for that impact, reactively path to every situation, make sure you understand what your goals are, and usually it's fine, as long as you continually keep that pressure up. And for team fighting, peel if you need to, don't overchase, and do Trundle things. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you did enjoy and learn something. Match history to all of these videos are always in the description. Patreon is coaching VODs and coaching signups. New video on the main channel coming tomorrow, nice and spicy, new title, but same educational goodness with, you know, nice effects and so on. Yeah, and that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.